We work with Eastern European migrants. They're mainly Polish migrants, but also Polish Roma, also Slovak and Czech people, and Roma Slovak and Roma Czech migrants. Well, first of all, it is a language and cultural barrier, which leads to impoverishment and vulnerability, and this leads to other problems. And so we are trying to help them with this multitude of problems caused by not knowing this country, not having the language, not knowing where to go, not feeling confident enough to ask to persevere asking, and to look for whatever they need. We offer them support. We run here one-to-one information sessions within which either we refer our clients to other organizations or try to help them here. And but also, we not only refer them, but we also try to raise their awareness. So we help them to understand the problem, their situation, how to solve it, and give them confidence and empower them to solve this problem themselves in the future. But obviously, people can gain only as many skills as they can, so sometimes we have to coach them, we have to help them. But if we can lead them to the stage where they can solve similar problems in the future, then that's great, and that's our success. But obviously, there is this economical contribution. They work in the industry that otherwise I think would struggle to recruit and to have enough employees. They work in the agriculture sector or in the warehouses in factories. So they fill in very important vacancies, because otherwise we would maybe struggle to have enough workers in those industries. But also, apart from economical contribution, there is a cultural contribution, and also there is a certain change of our neighborhoods. For example, areas like Hyson Green, I have seen them over the years since 2004, and I can see that this area has it has transformed. I think there are families living there. There are women with children on the street. They go to local schools. Those local schools have got enough of children. They're not being closed down. And there are houses which maybe previously used to be empty and derelict, and now there are families living there. Playgrounds are lively, and the streets feel much safer. So I think that those communities helped to regenerate areas like Hyson Green or maybe Sneinton and St. John's to make them family-friendly and more lively and safer areas to live in.
We work with asylum seekers and refugees. We work with men and women, sometimes with families. Whoever needs our support and help and our friendship, we'll get alongside them. The barriers that people face range from everything from housing to accessing courses such as English lessons to people who are destitute not having access to public funds and therefore healthcare and housing provision and all of that. Integration can be a barrier where there's attitudes of racism and where there's divided communities and where people have ideas about asylum seekers and refugees that are not true. We run a range of activities, including a women's support group. We have some English lessons, a befriending service. We organise social gatherings and events. We run workshops to let people know what services there are and how to access them. And we invite service providers along to those to connect with service users.
I'm Tracy Lloyd and this is Windmill Community Gardens, and we are having our Feel Good Garden Party today. So the idea of a Feel Good Garden Party is to get as many people as possible to come along and try all sorts of things that will make them feel better. So things like massage and meditation and Tai Chi and all of that lovely stuff. And also to experience some nice healthy foods which we make on site, and also to have a lot of fun, I hope. I hope it's promoting it a lot. We're trying to get lots of different groups in who maybe don't get out enough, so we've got quite a few befriending groups who are here, and then we've got people from various minority groups here, we've got some people who are refugees here, and we try and get everybody in together, and it's lovely really. And I think food makes a big difference, because the fact that people make gorgeous food all over the world is very clear when people come and help us. So today we've got Syrian food, we've got Palestinian food, we've got Pakistani food, we've got Jamaican food, you know, a bit of British, a little bit of Irish food. So, you know, we've got from all over the place, and it's just brilliant.
A lot of the people we work with make incredible contributions to society through volunteering. A lot of the guys we work with and support unfortunately can't work, and so they get busy and they get on with doing things that are positive and making a positive influence on society. So we have people that do interpreting, that do translation work, that will come and volunteer at our English lessons, who themselves are service users as well.
We work primarily with the Muslim women. However, a lot of our projects do involve work right across the board with women from all ethnicities, faiths, backgrounds and cultures, because I think it's really important, especially in this climate, to make sure that we're united and working together. A lot of the issues that Muslim women face, I would say, are quite national, not just localised to Nottingham, but we're talking a lot around hate crime and gendered Islamophobia, domestic abuse, which is a taboo subject, and Nottingham Muslim Women's Network are one of their sort of like main aims is to address issues that aren't addressed usually, forced marriages, sexual exploitation, sexual violence. We also do a lot of work around inequalities in the workforce, and a lot of work around cultural constraints from the community itself. So due to cultural constraints, a lot of Muslim women get affected by that because of culture. They're not allowed to sort of like prosper in society and in the different fields. The main really way that we work in Nottingham Muslim Women's Network is through advocacy, making sure that we have representation on forums and steering boards, so we can influence policy development and service development, and that's local, regional and national. We sit on for example, around hate crime, we sit on the Tel Mama Regional Board. We also sit on the local board of Community Safety Forum. On a national government board, we're also part of the Religious Hate Crime Board, which works with the government. And we do a lot of awareness raising through community workshops. I think a few years ago, we worked on a project called Understanding and Responding to Domestic Abuse. But it was a call for action, but it was aimed at Muslim men who are faith leaders and leaders in the community, to make sure that they are supporting women and are communicating that message in forums where it's male dominated. So that's an example as well. We sit on the Crime Prosecution Service forum to make sure that we influence around women and violence. So really it's about advocacy, campaigning, looking at making sure that we're represented in certain forums and steering groups to influence policy, like I says, and service delivery, and also produce resources that are more culturally or religiously appropriate. Most recently, we did a project around hate crime, and we had a community action group full of volunteers that put together a hate crime leaflet in particular languages aimed at women because it's underreported, and to build the confidence of women. Well, I mean, I think, and they're our main areas really, and also to make sure that within Nottingham Muslims Network we've got a diverse group of women from different fields and different professions, so we're acting as role models and mentors, so we go along to, if and when invited, to certain events to speak about the challenges that Muslim women face and how we overcome them. I think it's not celebrated enough, actually. Women right across the board, we've got women in all fields, right from being community activists and volunteers working in statutory and public sectors, so right across the field on a professional level. We've got a local councillor, Muslim female Pakistani councillor. She really champions a lot of the work that Muslim women need to do. Community organisations, I think there's just a handful of women's community organisations, and they're different in their own ways, but they make contribution in the sense of making sure that there's participation within the community, and also from women, making sure that they've got a voice as well. And there are lots of women, Muslim women, who've got their own businesses right across all ranges, from catering, beauty, financial services, sort of like letting agencies. We've got an amazing woman, Zara, who's a fitness instructor and is also in boxing. So she does a lot of work around box. It's called Box Smart. So women do make contribution right across the board. I think it's really important to say that even though women maybe not going out and working in professional fields, but even they've got their own small businesses at home as well. There's a WhatsApp group, I think it's called Sisters in Business, and when you look at that and you get constantly think, oh my God, so many skills out there that women, are sort of like generating and facilitating, and that's from within the home. So I think that's really important to recognise that, yes, professionally out there and business-wise, but it's really important to acknowledge women who are working in the home for reasons for bringing up families or whatever, but are still making a contribution to the economy, and to the community as well.
The African Institute for Social Development work with African in Nottingham and the region to develop their skills and to be socially connected. Community cohesion is a very important part of our role in the community, because Nottingham is such a diverse community, and we've got to get the community cohesion right, to get people working together, playing together, participating, engaged, involved,